In this video, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know on what a VSL is, why you should use a VSL, how to actually script a VSL so that it converts, and how to structure the layout of the page of the VSL to maximize conversions as well. So what actually is a VSL? So a VSL is just short for video sales letter. It's the exact same thing as a sales letter, except just in video format because it just helps more with engagement. And it also helps because it's a little bit more personable since they get to see your face and see your personality. Ideally, what you're looking to do on the video sales letter is sell people on the mechanism that you're using to solve their problem, sell people on yourself, and then also provide proof that you are able to actually resolve their problems. So why create a VSL, and do you even need one in the first place? So I'm going to go over the pros of a VSL, the cons of a VSL, when you should have a VSL, and when you shouldn't have a VSL. So starting off with the pros of a VSL is that they're able to turn a cold audience who has no idea who you are or what you do into a hot, ready-to-buy audience that feels like they know you, they trust you, and they see how your product or service can benefit them. Another pro of the VSL is that it makes your sales calls 10 times more likely to close because the prospects are more educated on you and what you do, so they're not asking as many questions, they have less objections. It also qualifies leads before they book a call as well because they're educated on what it is that you do, as well as who you help and who you don't help. Con of a VSL is that it does add more friction to the overall sales funnel or sales process because it's an extra step they have to get through, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing. If you have low traffic, meaning you don't have like a ton of engagement followers, you're not running ads or anything like that, then obviously you're not going to benefit from adding more friction to your funnel if you have low traffic. But if you have a high amount of traffic, having a high amount of traffic can lead to a lot of unqualified booked calls, and so adding that friction in front to have people watch a video to be educated and filtered out actually can be a positive. So it's only a con if you really have like low traffic. So that brings us to when should I have a VSL? If you have a high ticket offer of $1,000 or more, some might even say $2,000 or more, $2,000 or more. You have a lot of traffic. If you have a lot of traffic, you should use a VSL. And you find you keep having to explain yourself over and over and over again on sales calls. It really helps in educating people so that they already know. It just makes your sales calls smoother. When shouldn't you have a VSL? When it's a low ticket offer, it's just not worth it. And when you have low traffic. How long should a VSL be? Very valid question. So despite what many people might tell you, this can vary. So some people will say 5 minutes because they believe that TikTok brain rot is ruining everybody's attention span, which they're not wrong. And some people say a 45-minute VSL is their bread and butter, and a lot of people are saying this at the exact same time in the current year. The reality is that the length of the VSL depends on a few factors. If the traffic already knows, likes, and trusts you, then a 5 to 10 minute VSL is completely fine because they already know you, so they don't really need to be warmed up to who you are or need any trust or rapport built. If the traffic is completely cold, like say from like paid ads or something, or cold outreach, you might need a longer VSL to warm the prospects up to who you are since they literally don't know who the hell you are. At the end of the day, both can work as long as you're just conveying what you need to convey. You just really have to think about the audience in mind. So here's a 7-step framework to writing a VSL that will convert. So the first step that you want to do is you want to hook your ideal customer in by immediately telling them in the first line that this video is going to teach them how to get from their current painful situation to their dream outcome. So the first line should be like, hey, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to go from painful state to dream outcome. It's also bonus points if you can actually paint a vivid picture. So instead of being like, I'm going to teach you how to go from out of shape to in shape, you can say, I'm going to teach you how to go from not being able to fit into those clothes and everybody made fun of you and you felt really unconfident to now you're able to feel comfortable when somebody takes a picture of you. You're able to wear that outfit you couldn't wear. You can get on a dating app and get matches, right? You're actually painting specifics with the pain point and the dream outcome. And then the second step right after that is to immediately inject social proof so that you can basically show that you've done this for others, show the results of what you've been able to get for other people, provide screenshots, whatever proof that you have so that people can immediately know, oh shit, this person knows what they're talking about, they've gotten results for other people, and this person is saying they can help me. So now you've got their attention. Now, once you've got their attention, if they're really cold, you'll probably want to at least like let them know who you are, give your story, like keep this really brief, because people care more about themselves. But if you can relate your story to the target audience, they'll care more. So you're giving your story, but the purpose of giving your story is to explain to the audience that you were like them. That way they see themselves in your past story and then how you were able to change, and that makes it seem like, oh, okay, you understand them. And obviously bonus points if you're able to use the same verbiage as them. So like, obviously let's say there's multiple people selling dating courses, but not everybody's selling a dating course to women. Not everyone's selling dating stuff to men, or even men of a certain age. So if you're selling a course to women, you'll want to actually like talk about what it was like, dating as a woman, and speak in a way, like the way you joke, and just the entire vibe of the conversation. The more it suits your ideal customer, the harder it's going to hit. Now, in the fourth step, you want to explain your solution on how you solve this for yourself and others. And you don't want to give away everything, but you do want to give the prospect an epiphany moment, like an aha, like, oh shit, that's why I haven't been able to get results. Because basically chances are that they've already tried other competitors and they've tried things on their own that didn't work. So if they feel like you're just a commodity, meaning you're doing the same shit as everyone else, like why would they want to work with you? So what you can do is take shots at the current industry by basically demystifying common myths and being like, no, I'm not going to have you do what everyone else has you do. I already know this shit doesn't work, that shit doesn't work. Because they're probably wondering about a bunch of negative commonalities associated with what you do. But you're different and you have a new and improved method from the norm. So you need to sell the prospect on the idea that what you do works, and that it gives them an epiphany of like, oh shit, this is what I've been missing. They're so right. This makes sense. It has to make logical sense to them. And then step 5 is to inject even more case studies and social proof to make it undeniable that it works. And again, like I said before, paint the picture in their head of the pain that they had before and the dream life that they have now. So that way you're not only logically making it make sense and giving them that logical epiphany, but you're also emotionally like punching them in the fucking gut about their situation, right? Then the next step after that is to create urgency. Now, you don't want to lie and create fake scarcity, because that is like super corny, like especially those like countdowns that are obviously not real. But for example, if you have limited slots, if you actually do have limited slots, that's actual urgency and scarcity, because people don't value things unless they're scarce. So if you have limited slots, you only work with a certain number of people, or just simply letting them know that like they need to make a change. I get it. Most people are procrastinators. Like even if it's the best decision they'll ever make in their life, people will get scared. And so you really want to encourage them to take that next step. And then finally, of course, you're going to tell them to click the button below the video to book a call. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to actually record the VSL, where to host the VSL after you've recorded it, and how to optimize the page that it's on to get the highest conversions possible. So let's look at a little quick breakdown here of what a VSL page looks like. So at the very top, you have the headline, and then you have the actual VSL itself and the CTA button, and I'll go over more of that in a little bit. Now, when it comes to recording it, I just use a free software called OBS. You can just Google it and then download it for free. Some people use Loom. Honestly, any screen recording software nowadays on Windows computers by default, you have the snipping tool, which allows you to screen record with a webcam. So just putting your face up on the video, a lot of times you don't even have to, but I would say nowadays it's best if they can see your face, especially if the people watching it don't know you. They should probably see your face. And you don't have to complicate it. You can do like how I do my YouTube videos here. Like you can just put up Google Slides of what you want to say. You can type stuff out on Google Doc. Like honestly, most people do not care about like super fancy edited stuff. That's why nowadays when marketers are running ads, they're typically using vertical like iPhone videos. Like you really don't need like anything fancy or edited. It's just as long as people can see like, oh, this person seems cool. Like I can see myself in them, and they've proven they've gotten results for people, like they're not going to care. And then you can edit the video in Clipchamp or in CapCut, which are free. And then you want to host the video on your landing page builder of choice. So whether you're using ClickFunnels, Go High Level, whatever, they should allow you to embed the video right onto a landing page. Now, as far as the structure of the landing page, like I was talking about earlier, you want to have a headline at the top, and the headline should be a bold claim, like a really bold claim about what it is that you can do for people to grab their attention. So a great framework you can follow for this is you call out the target audience in the as the first word, and then you say we will achieve, and you put in their dream outcome within time frame without the thing that they hate, and then give them a risk reversal. So like for example, let's say that I was a fitness coach. You would say, if I was targeting like let's say moms or something like that, and I'd be like, hey, busy moms, that's the target audience, we will achieve dream outcome. And the dream outcome could be like lose 40 pounds in time frame, so let's say 90 days, without thing they hate. So let's say like crunches or whatever exercise that they commonly hate, and then risk reversal, which would be, or you don't pay or we give you a refund. So it would be, hey, busy moms, we will help you lose 40 pounds in the next 90 days without you having to do any abs or crunches. And if we don't get you the result, you don't pay, right? So that would be a killer headline. And then what you want to do is you have the VSL right below that, and then you have just one button on the page for them to book a call. So you don't want to have a bunch of buttons on the page. It's a huge mistake because the more buttons and options you give people, the lower chances that they pick the one, right? If I give you one option, you only have one thing you can choose. It's basically a 100% chance if you take an action that you're gonna that's the action you take. But if I give you three choices, well, now there's a 33% chance split between anyone who takes an action of which one they take. So you don't need to put an about me section. You don't need to put, nobody cares about that. You need to contact us, just one button below the VSL. Now below the book a call button is where you want to include more testimonials and more results. So that way people can see even more results that you've been able to get for people. You can also add features, benefits, and deliverables. If you're going to do that, make sure you stack a bunch of them and you make them sound really, really enticing. So if you include more, then people are going to perceive the service as being a higher caliber, even if it's really not. I mean, it's just sales 101. It's just simply making things 10 times more enticing than they actually are. So you definitely want to put anything there that's going to convince them to make a buying decision. Bonus tips: listen to your sales calls down to the words prospects use and inject that into your VSL. Trust me, this is huge. So specifically if they say, like, it just down to the way that they word things. So like, for example, if you're a business coach and you're trying to help people make more money, and on sales calls they keep saying the word scale my business, or they keep saying grow my business. If they keep saying scale, use the word scale in your VSL and in all your marketing. If they keep saying the word grow, use the word grow. So stuff like that. You also want to pay attention to what questions people ask on sales calls. You should answer those in the VSL. The more educated a prospect is before they get on the sales call, the higher percentage chance they close on that sales call. This is why oftentimes people will send people videos and sales assets even before a call, just to increase the likelihood that they close. You also want to take into account what objections do people give on your sales calls, and you can handle these in your VSL. So for example, if you commonly get told on the sales call, oh, this won't work for me because I'm XYZ, this doesn't work for people like me, but you know that's not true because you got results for someone else who had the exact same excuse, then it's a good idea to put that in your VSL. So you want to let people know that a past client had those same thoughts before working with you, but they still were able to get the result despite that. And so this will massively increase your sales closing rate because the prospect will see themselves in that and go, oh, well, like, it just handles it for you so that you don't have to on the sales call. So if you keep getting unqualified people on the phone, you can also say in your VSL who you do and do not work with, so that people you don't want to work with don't actually end up booking a call. So yeah, listen to your sales calls. That's super, super important. Now, if you need help with anything related to funnels, marketing, sales, setting up a VSL, landing pages, anything like that, I do have a link for you down in the description to my website. It's attentionintoclients.com. Feel free to book in a call with my team so that way we can talk with you. But I hope that this video was super, super useful, and I'll have more useful videos coming out. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.